The United States government has acknowledged the existence of unidentified flying objects, but their stance and level of knowledge about them is not entirely clear. Back in June 2021, the United States government released a report on unidentified aerial phenomena, which is the new term used to describe these mysterious aircrafts. The report, issued by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, stated that there were 144 reports of unidentified aerial phenomena from 2004 to 2021, with only one of them having an identifiable explanation. As of right now, though, officials haven't released any more information on this topic, leading amateur researchers to suggest that they're not giving away all of the answers and that they're holding on to substantial evidence which could prove once and for all what these objects are. Going back a few years ago, a man overheard two security guards talking, and they detailed that in the early hours of the morning, something was being transported out of Edwards Air Force Base. He overheard the guards say that the object would be transported at around 1:30 in the morning, and so he decided to wait in his car to see what the Air Force Base was transporting. The man reported that in the distance he could see a police car with its lights on, and behind it were several other police cars escorting a large truck. The man said that he couldn't believe what he was seeing, and that the object on the back of the truck appeared to be in the shape of a disc. Many said that the man was brave for doing this, and that he may have caught genuine proof of a mysterious aircraft. Although the man was able to follow the military guards and capture proof of this encounter, others said that he was lucky not to have been spotted, and suggested that if he was caught by officers, then he may have been given a prison sentence. Oddly enough, although the man was able to capture clear photographs of an aircraft in the shape of a disc, some online users came forward and said that it wasn't an unidentified aircraft, and was actually an aircraft that belonged to the United States Navy. The aircraft in question is called the X-46B. According to military websites, the project was funded under a $635 million contract, which was awarded to the United States Navy in 2007. By January 2012, the total program cost had grown to over $800 million. The aircraft certainly looks futuristic, but according to military insiders, the program had a rough start, and not long after being awarded the program, it was soon scrapped in favor of a less stealthy aircraft. Interestingly, various military bases have been home to strange encounters, which have led former military workers to come forward with their strange encounters. One such event happened at the Edwards Air Force Base. Edwards Air Force Base sits amid the dusty plains of the Mojave Desert, home to the Earth's hottest place, Death Valley, where temperatures fluctuate from scorching hot in the summer to freezing cold in the winter. The desert is a hostile and dangerous place, but it's also one of America's most fascinating places for a number of reasons. Geographically, the area is unique. Furthermore, the first space shuttle mission, Columbia, landed at Edwards on its return to Earth in April 1981. However, there's a reason much more relevant to this video as to why we're taking a look at the base. Edwards Air Force Base, by location and the majority of its purpose, is just a regular military installation, but it also serves a joint purpose. The base essentially controls activities at the nearby Homey Airport, an area that in recent years has become synonymous with strange activity. One would imagine that some strange things must be seen late at night, that far out in the desert, surrounded by nothing but open air and dusty expanses. One night in 1965, an air traffic controller at the base had a strange encounter with what he believed was an aircraft in the shape of a disc. In 1965, Edwards, like US Air Force bases all over the country, were on high alert for suspicious activity in the skies. Tension with the Soviet Union was mounting, and the most shocking thing that radar controllers in the Nevada desert could have seen back then would have been a Russian aircraft. However, the objects that appeared above the base, apparently flying very high and very fast, appeared in sets of 7 to 12 and looked like pulsating lights against the night sky. However, the controllers couldn't be sure of what they'd seen, and as a precaution, a fighter jet was scrambled from the nearby George Air Force Base. Yet, the strange lights continued to climb into the night sky, far outpacing the fighter jet. Controllers noted that the craft seemed to simply fade away into space, becoming one of the stars. The thing about the Edwards incident is that the eyewitness reports were credible, so the crew at the base most definitely did see something that night. It's just not clear what it was that they saw. We don't know what sort of threat, or how bad a threat these mysterious aircrafts posed, but when the evidence was released only about 15 years ago, People realized that the government had gone to great lengths at the time to cover up these sorts of incidents. These mysterious aircrafts have been a thing of immense fascination across the world for thousands of years, but Americans were amongst the first to take a continued interest in the phenomena. And when multiple soldiers, those who we trust with keeping us safe, are left confused and ultimately convinced by their own sightings, you can't help but think that there might be something else out there. These are just a few examples of what military officials have encountered, and there's definitely no shortage of these types of stories. It's interesting when we hear about these types of sightings that have been witnessed by everyday people, but when military officials come forward and share their stories, they seem more credible. This is because these are the people that work around these areas on a daily basis, so they are used to seeing military equipment on a daily basis. No matter what your thoughts surrounding these incidents, one thing that can't be ignored is that there are only two possible conclusions to make when it comes to repeated UFO sightings: either a truth within the story or false. The United Kingdom is no stranger to these mysterious aircrafts, and since the early 1980s, there have been various mass sightings of strange aircrafts that don't match vehicles such as planes or helicopters. Described as one of the strangest aerial sightings ever made, bordering on the theory of being a possible religious experience, is that of the well-recorded incident referred to by researchers as the Devon Flying Cross sighting. While officers Roger Willey and Clifford Walcott were making their way back to the police station, driving from Holsworthy to Hatherley at around 4 a.m, they were diverted from their investigation when they spotted a series of floating lights in the sky that seemed to group together and take on the shape of a cross. According to the two officers, the sighting took place on the 24th of October back in 1967 and have yet to find an adequate explanation for what they encountered. The now retired officers recounted the following statement surrounding the incident. "We were making our way back between Holsworthy and Hatherley when we saw this unusual bright light in the sky. We both registered that we'd seen something. It was something we couldn't logically account for. It was something that I hadn't seen before, I haven't seen since, and something that nobody can explain exactly what it was." The two officers described the craft as a bright object in the shape of a cross, hovering slightly above the height of the tree line roughly 40 meters from where their car was parked. Unsure of what action would be most appropriate to take, the two officers began to pursue the lights, which began to pulsate for about 15 minutes while flying away from their car, still following the path of the road at about the speed of 80 miles per hour. It was at this point that the officers got a clear look at the lights, only to notice that something was off about their appearance. The two officers both described that the lights seemed to have been continually out of focus of their eyes, and said that it was as if they were viewing this object through wet glass. Roger provided a later statement describing the lights as they followed them for this 15-minute period. He said the following: "My view of it was that it was moving slowly. It wasn't a star, it was bright, and it was white. If you look at glass which has got rain on, it was the same sort of inference. It was a splash. It was just eerie." As Roger and Clifford continued following the craft, according to their witness account, at about 4:23 in the morning, the cross was joined by a second flying object that appeared to join the shape. It was also at this point that a third witness would enter the scene, a man by the name of Mr. Christopher Garner, a local resident of Hatherley, who also began to follow the light while driving down the same road. According to Christopher Garner, he originally believed that he was stuck in some kind of trance as the object passed overhead, unsure of what was real and what wasn't, recounting that the entire experience left him questioning whether or not he was experiencing a nightmare. This nightmare would not last for very long, however, as after the distance of 14 miles were passed, the object would fade away and seem to disappear in an instant, with no sign of the lights or the cross being anywhere nearby. The sighting was believed to have lasted from 4 in the morning to about 5 in the morning. Unfortunately for the men involved, this would not mark the end of this strange and otherworldly incident. Shortly following their sighting, officers Roger and Clifford claimed to have been approached by the British Ministry of Defence for the purpose of an ongoing investigation into the unidentified aircraft phenomenon, as well as warning them about coming forward with their encounter. Roger would later provide the following comment to the BBC national media. "We were visited by a boffin from the Ministry of Defence who told us that we were still officers under the Official Secrets Acts, and they would rather we kept it to ourselves." Fortunately for researchers interested in the unknown, This approach from the British Ministry of Defence would do very little to discourage Officer Roger, Clifford, and motorist Christopher Garner from going to the news media and reporting their encounter. When reports investigated the claims surrounding the strange intimidation tactic taken by the British Ministry of Defence, they would provide the explanation that they were doing their own research into the claims made by the three men and found them to be entirely baseless, providing the additional explanation that the sighting was nothing more than a misidentification of Venus in the sky. This explanation would be put into question, however, as throughout that same month, numerous additional sightings of a flying cross would be seen all throughout the Devon region. Additionally, during the late 2000s, slowly released documents from the British National Archives would tell a different story, when unclassified documents would be uncovered surrounding the Devon flying cross encounter, believing the sighting to have been a genuine mysterious aircraft, directly contradicting the public statement made by the Ministry of Defence during 1967 surrounding the incident. In the annals of human history, tales of time travel and space exploration have captured our imagination. Imagine a scenario where these two extraordinary concepts intertwine, leading to a captivating narrative of a time traveler selected for a secret mission to Mars. However, something different about this story is the fact that the individual in question returned with evidence, and this came in the form of a photograph that was taken on Mars. This man detailed that he was in the military for over 25 years and holds the rank of general. He referred to himself as Mr. Hayes and detailed that he was chosen for a secret space mission to Mars, a journey that would transcend the boundaries of time and plunge him into the depths of Martian history. Armed with state-of-the-art technology, he would witness the past of the Red Planet, observe its ancient civilizations, and unearth the enigmatic secrets that lay hidden beneath its rust-colored sands. He detailed that he doesn't have any family or children and said that dedicated himself to the United States military. This mission piqued his interest, and so he accepted. After several months, he was taken to an unknown location, stating that the truck had been completely blacked out. When he entered this underground base, he said that he witnessed phenomena such as anti-gravity vehicles. Additionally, he mentioned that the group was assigned the name of the Mars Defense Force. The general stood in the heart of a military research facility. The temporal rift opened before him. A convergence of swirling lights and energy consumed him, and in the blink of an eye, he found himself on unfamiliar ground. The red sands of Mars stretched beneath his feet, the crimson sky a stark contrast to the Earth he had left behind. Once transported, he stated that the sensation was unlike anything he had ever experienced, a convergence of lights, colors, and emotions that defied description. The general proceeded to state that the military provides training for specific individuals at a young age through various programs. It is worth noting that he is not the only person to make such claims about the US government's involvement in these activities. Other individuals have come forward and admitted their participation in classified programs, recounting their recruitment at an early stage of their lives. According to Mr. Hayes, he was subjected to an implantation of a device in his brain, which he claims also happened to over 200 other individuals. As he surveyed the Martian landscape, the realization hit him. He had been transported to a future where humanity had conquered the cosmos, establishing colonies on the Red Planet. Mars, once a distant dream, had become a second home for Earth's descendants. But it was not just the Martian landscape that had changed. Advanced domed cities dotted the horizon, bustling with life, innovation, and the echoes of progress. The general's military instincts kicked in as he observed the orderly formations of soldiers clad in sleek Martian uniforms. The sight was both awe-inspiring and unsettling. The general's instincts kicked in, and he found himself working alongside Martian military leaders to devise a plan to protect the city and its residents. As the dust storm raged, the general's military expertise combined with Martian ingenuity. They deployed advanced technology, harnessed the planet's resources, and coordinated the efforts of the Martian defense forces. The result was a battle against the forces of nature itself, a collective endeavor that showcased the strength of human determination. When the storm subsided, the city was intact, its citizens safe within their protective domes. The general stood amidst the Martian leaders, his gaze fixed on the horizon. He realized that his journey across time had not only given him a glimpse into Mars's future, but had also allowed him to contribute to its resilience and survival. As the temporal rift opened once again, he stood at the precipice of a choice. He could return to his own time, armed with the knowledge of Mars's bright future, or he could remain in this new world he had helped shape. He chose to return, capturing a photograph of one of the outpost buildings. The general stated that he emerged from the rift with a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that the future he had witnessed was not an unattainable dream, but a potential reality within humanity's grasp. Armed with the knowledge of Mars's triumphant colonization, he became an advocate for international cooperation, space exploration, and the unity that had transformed a distant planet into a second home. Throughout history, humanity has been captivated by the concept of time travel, an idea that transcends the limits of our reality and delves into the realms of the unknown. While the idea has been a staple of science fiction, the question of whether time travel is possible remains one of the most intriguing and debated topics in the realm of physics and philosophy. The concept of time travel finds its roots in the theory of relativity, formulated by Albert Einstein. According to this theory, time is not an absolute entity, but is intertwined with space, forming a fabric known as spacetime. This fabric can be warped and bent by massive objects, leading to phenomena like gravitational time dilation, where time flows differently depending on the strength of the gravitational field. Theoretical physics suggests that wormholes, hypothetical shortcuts through spacetime, could potentially allow for time travel. These tunnels, however, are governed by complex equations and require the existence of exotic matter with negative energy density, a concept that challenges our current understanding of physics. Einstein's theory of relativity predicts that time dilation occurs when an object approaches the speed of light. As a result, a traveler moving at relativistic speeds would experience time differently compared to an observer at rest. While this phenomenon is not the same as traditional time travel, it demonstrates the malleability of time as described by the theory of relativity. Theoretical models suggest that certain solutions to Einstein's equations, known as closed time-like curves, could potentially allow for time travel. These pathways through space-time loop back onto themselves, theoretically permitting a person to revisit their own past. However, the mathematical consistency of these solutions and their practical realization remain subjects of intense scrutiny. In the realm of quantum mechanics, particles can become entangled, sharing a connection that transcends physical distance. Some physicists have proposed that exploiting the phenomenon of quantum entanglement could potentially enable communication or information transfer across time. Yet, the complexities of quantum mechanics and the delicate nature of entanglement make this proposition far from straightforward. Time travel not only challenges the laws of physics, but also prompts philosophical questions about causality, free will, and the nature of reality. The possibility of altering the past raises questions about the deterministic nature of the universe and the potential for paradoxes that undermine our understanding of cause and effect. Time travel introduces the notion of feedback loops, where events in the past could be influenced by future actions, creating a cycle of cause and effect that defies linear time. While these loops may offer fascinating narrative possibilities, they also present logical conundrums that challenge our intuition. Some theories within the realm of quantum mechanics propose the existence of multiple parallel universes. These multiverse theories suggest that time travel could potentially involve traversing between different branches of reality, sidestepping some of the paradoxes associated with traditional time travel scenarios. In the end, the question of whether time travel is possible remains shrouded in uncertainty. While the theoretical foundations exist within the framework of modern physics, the practical realization of time travel is fraught with challenges, paradoxes, and limitations that are yet to be overcome. This strange footage has just been uploaded to social media, showing what appears to be a laser beam setting a small area of the ground on fire. The footage was sent to us from someone who lives in Chile and said that a beam of energy could be seen coming from the sky. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that something like this has been captured on camera, and it's caused various people to put forward their theories as to what this could be. One idea that was put forward was that this was an energy beam and could have come from a military aircraft. Although this sounds like something from a movie, the United States Department of Defense spends over $1 billion annually on developing directed energy or concentrated electromagnetic energy weapons. Those who live in the area said that whatever created this beam of energy must have been extremely powerful, as when residents went to the area where the beam hit, it was revealed that there was a hole in the ground. Directed energy weapons have long been a topic of interest and speculation in the realm of military technology. These advanced weapons systems, which harness and direct concentrated energy beams, have the potential to revolutionize warfare and reshape the dynamics of conflict. The Pacific Fleet of the US Navy has recently announced that it has successfully conducted a test on a new high-energy laser weapon that has the capacity to take down aircraft mid-flight. According to a statement released by the Navy, the USS Portland, an amphibious transport dockship, has successfully utilized a high-energy class solid-state laser system to disable an aerial drone aircraft. The Navy has provided images and videos showcasing this system-level implementation. The visuals depict a laser emitting from the surface of a military vessel. Brief video excerpts illustrate an object, presumably a drone, catching fire. The Navy conducted a test of the laser weapons system demonstrator in the Pacific, but the specific location was not disclosed. According to a report from 2018 by the International Institute for Strategic Studies, the specific strength of the weapon was not disclosed. However, it was speculated that the laser could reach up to 150 kilowatts. According to the commanding officer of Portland, Captain Carrie Sanders, performing tests at sea against unmanned aerial vehicles and small boats will provide us with important insights into the capabilities of the solid-state laser weapons system demonstrator against potential threats. The captain said that they are revolutionizing naval warfare for the Navy with this cutting-edge technology. The US Navy claims that directed energy weapons, referred to as lasers, are a viable defense against small boats or unmanned aerial vehicles, also known as drones. According to the statement, the Navy's utilization of directed energy weapons brings about immediate advantages to the combatants and empowers the commander to have more flexibility in making decisions and responding. Currently, the Department of Defense is working on directed energy weapons to combat various threats such as missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles. The Department of Defense and military departments are currently engaged in projects aimed at creating directed energy weaponry. These initiatives have included the development of various prototypes and demonstrators of laser weapon systems that have been successfully utilized in live-fire demonstrations to bring down drones. The Department of Defense and the military branches are currently designing more advanced laser weaponry to combat larger threats. They are also creating various high-power microwave capabilities that can be used for engaging in missile or drone swarm attacks against military bases. In order for a military department to successfully transition prototypes to an existing or new acquisition program, it must find a partner to support the technology's further development. The Army has created a detailed plan that outlines the roles of stakeholders and schedules for the building of supporting activities. Although the Navy has successfully fielded multiple directed energy weapon prototypes and identified potential transition partners, they lack documented transition agreements. Meanwhile, the Air Force has not prioritized the establishment of transition partners, making future planning even more difficult. Failure to take these transition planning steps can result in misaligned directed energy weapons that may not meet operational needs and put both the Navy and Air Force at risk. Directed energy weapons encompass a range of technologies that generate and focus various types of energy, such as lasers, microwaves, or particle beams, to damage or destroy targets. Unlike traditional kinetic weapons, which rely on projectiles or explosives, directed energy weapons rely on the transfer of energy to disable or neutralize threats. The energy beams emitted by these weapons can be precisely aimed and controlled, offering advantages in terms of accuracy, speed, and potentially reduced collateral damage. One of the key advantages of directed energy weapons is their speed of engagement. The high velocity of energy beams allows for near instantaneous target acquisition and engagement, enabling rapid responses to incoming threats. This can be particularly valuable in scenarios where time is critical, such as in intercepting missiles or drones. Additionally, directed energy weapons offer extended operational capabilities. Unlike conventional weapons, which require ammunition resupply, directed energy weapons can operate as long as there is sufficient power supply. This reduces the logistical burden and potential risks associated with transporting and storing ammunition. Another significant advantage of directed energy weapons is their potential for precise targeting. The focused nature of the energy beams allows for selective engagement, minimizing collateral damage and reducing the risk to civilians and infrastructure. This accuracy can be especially valuable in urban warfare or situations where targets are located in close proximity to non-combatants. Moreover, directed energy weapons have the potential to overcome certain limitations of conventional weaponry. For example, they can counter hypersonic missiles, which pose significant challenges to traditional defense systems due to their extreme speed and maneuverability. Directed energy weapons can track and engage such targets with greater agility and responsiveness. However, the development and deployment of directed energy weapons also raise important ethical considerations. The potential lethality and range of directed energy weapons may present challenges in distinguishing between combatants and non-combatants, raising concerns about the risk of unintended casualties and violations of international humanitarian law. Additionally, the long-term effects of directed energy beams on human health and the environment require careful evaluation. Another consideration is the potential for escalation and arms race dynamics. The deployment of advanced directed energy weapons could lead to a race for more powerful and sophisticated systems, increasing the risk of military confrontation and destabilizing the balance of power between nations. Furthermore, the effective use of directed energy weapons relies on robust and secure command, control, and communication systems. Cybersecurity concerns must be addressed to prevent unauthorized access or malicious manipulation of these weapons, which could have devastating consequences if exploited. As of right now, directed energy weapons represent a significant advancement in military technology with the potential to transform warfare. Their speed, accuracy, extended operational capabilities, and potential to overcome certain limitations of conventional weapons make them attractive options for defense and security purposes. However, ethical considerations, including the risk of unintended casualties, potential long-term effects, and the risk of escalation, must be carefully evaluated and addressed. As with any new technological development, the responsible and accountable use of directed energy weapons is paramount to ensure their potential benefits are realized while minimizing potential risks and harms. The International Space Station orbits the Earth, serving as a beacon of scientific exploration and international collaboration. However, alongside its remarkable achievements, the International Space Station has also become the focal point of intriguing reports and recordings of unidentified objects. Recently, some interesting photographs have been shared around social media, showing what appears to be two medium-sized black cubes flying past one of the International Space Station's cameras. As the live feed camera transmitted images of the Earth and surrounding space, a user online noticed two small, dark objects in the distance. They said that its shape and movements deviated from the expected patterns of space debris or known satellites. Intrigued, they started to take some screenshots in the hopes of better understanding what it was that they witnessed. They said that the objects were in the shape of a cube, saying that it maneuvered gracefully through the vast emptiness of space. The user said that it flew past the camera within a matter of seconds and displayed agility and speed beyond the capabilities of any known human-made spacecraft. With the mysterious object captivating their attention, they knew that they were witnessing something strange, and so quickly grabbed some screenshots. They said that the object's flight patterns and advanced maneuvers challenged conventional understanding, raising questions about its technological capabilities and potential nature. After sharing the photographs online, some suggested that the small black objects were advanced reconnaissance probes from an advanced civilization observing humanity's activities from afar. Others theorized that it could be a result of a top-secret military experiment, pushing the boundaries of aerospace technology. Regardless of the explanations, the sighting opened up a world of possibilities and triggered discussions about the existence of intelligent life beyond Earth. However, despite numerous attempts at trying to explain what these objects were, they remained a mystery. Interestingly, those who saw the photographs said that this isn't the first time that these objects have been captured on the International Space Station's live cameras, and said that over the years, a variety of strange objects have been captured. Although NASA and other space agencies have said that these objects are nothing of interest and can normally be explained as things like space debris and camera glitches, this hasn't stopped users from investigating further, noting that every so often these objects can be seen during the live streams. Whether these two small black objects were an otherworldly visitor, a product of advanced human technology, or something else entirely, its presence has left many unanswered questions, and as humanity continues its voyage of discovery, the enigmatic encounter serves as a constant reminder that the universe is full of surprises, waiting to be discovered. As mentioned, numerous recordings from the International Space Station have captured objects appearing in the frame, exhibiting unconventional flight patterns and unexplained characteristics. Eyewitness accounts and footage reveal sightings of spherical, cylindrical or disc-shaped objects maneuvering near the space station. These objects often exhibit high speeds, abrupt changes in direction, and anomalous behavior that cannot be easily explained by known space debris or natural phenomena. Several explanations have been proposed to account for the mysterious objects caught near the International Space Station. One possibility is the presence of space debris or satellites, which can occasionally pass by the station. However, the distinct flight patterns and behaviors observed in some cases defy the characteristics of typical space debris or known satellite movements. Another explanation involves misidentifications or lens flares caused by light reflections or internal optics within the cameras. Such optical phenomena can create the illusion of objects or anomalies in the recorded footage. However, the consistency of witness reports and the corroboration between different camera angles challenge the notion that all sightings are mere artifacts. The sightings of these mysterious objects have fueled speculation about potential advanced civilizations. Proponents of this hypothesis argue that the peculiar flight patterns and advanced technology displayed by these objects suggest the presence of intelligent life monitoring our planet or interacting with the space station. While this hypothesis is intriguing, it remains speculative, as definitive proof of advanced activity is yet to be established. The complex nature of this phenomenon requires rigorous scientific investigation and analysis of available evidence to ascertain the true nature of these sightings. The realm of outer space has always been shrouded in mystery, and astronauts, as intrepid explorers, are no strangers to encounters with the unknown. Several astronauts have come forward with accounts of mysterious aircrafts. Those who believe in this phenomenon have said that if you are going to believe anyone, then you should believe those who've actually been to space. Perhaps the most notable is the testimony of Buzz Aldrin, the second person to walk on the moon. Aldrin has stated that he and his fellow Apollo 11 crew members observed a mysterious object during their journey to the moon, describing it as a cylindrical object moving alongside their spacecraft. Similarly, Edgar Mitchell, the sixth person to walk on the moon as part of the Apollo 14 mission, spoke openly about his belief in advanced life and his conviction that mysterious objects have visited Earth. Mitchell claimed that multiple astronauts have witnessed these objects, but the information has been withheld from the public. In addition to these renowned astronauts, other space explorers, including Gordon Cooper and Story Musgrave, have shared their own encounters with unidentified objects during their missions. Their descriptions often include sightings of bright lights, strange formations, or objects exhibiting rapid acceleration and maneuverability. The testimonies of astronauts hold considerable weight due to their extensive training, scientific backgrounds, and credibility within the space exploration community. These individuals are trained observers who have undergone rigorous astronaut selection processes and have extensive knowledge of spacecraft and celestial phenomena. The testimonies of astronauts who claim to have encountered mysterious objects during their space missions provide intriguing insights into the unexplained phenomena that occur beyond our planet. While skeptics offer alternative explanations and caution against misinterpretations, the credibility and training of these astronauts demand careful consideration. The experiences shared by these space explorers encourage scientific inquiry, inspire curiosity, and challenge our understanding of the universe. As we continue to explore the cosmos, further research and investigation into these encounters will shed light on the nature of these objects and potentially reshape our understanding of our place in the universe. Scientists are currently investigating the reasons behind the sudden formation of large and tightly packed gatherings of humpback whales, known as supergroups. This phenomenon has piqued their interest, and they are aiming to uncover the underlying factors that contribute to this behavior. A fascinating occurrence has been observed near the shores of South Africa by both researchers and the public. The location where they gather is distant from the typical summer region of humpback whales in the Antarctic. These groups grow in size from 20 to 200 individuals, and their main objective is to find food. According to lead researcher Ken Findley, being in a small boat surrounded by 200 humpback whales is an immensely remarkable encounter. The whales appear unexpectedly from all directions, creating a truly extraordinary experience. According to South Africa's Department of Environmental Affairs, the scientists believe that the phenomenon of large groups of animals feeding together, which they refer to as supergroups, is a relatively new behavior. During the research expeditions in 2011, 2014, and 2015, the whales were seen lunging, diving, and emitting a distinct smell known as whale blows, which has a strong, fishy scent. These observations took place in South Africa during the spring-summer months of October and November. Researchers noticed that the supergroups showed a certain level of flexibility, with whales occasionally joining and then departing from these groups. It was observed that certain whales would travel long distances in order to become part of these massive gatherings. Humpback whales are not typically recognized for their sociability. They are commonly observed in solitary or paired configurations, or in small clusters that do not maintain long-lasting associations. Researchers stated that the causes behind this new and unusual behavior pattern are still uncertain. However, it is possible that the phenomenon is linked to the growing population of humpback whales in the area or the abundance of their prey. However, scientists were unable to determine the specific prey that led to this large gathering. Findley stated that while the occurrence itself is not mysterious, what remains enigmatic is the process and reasoning behind it. There is a need for further examination to unravel these inquiries. The speaker mentioned that he, along with his colleagues, intends to release a collection of articles discussing the occurrence. He further added that despite his extensive involvement in humpback research for over 3 decades, they have never encountered such a phenomenon previously. The observation of numerous supergroups holds a significant implication for the well-being and status of these magnificent creatures. According to Findley, the results we obtained demonstrate the remarkable resilience of these animals in recovering from the significant impact of whaling in the previous century. In the southern hemisphere alone, more than 200,000 humpback whales were hunted during that time. Scientists have said that it's truly astonishing to witness the remarkable recovery of these populations after 30 to 40 years. This restoration inspires a sense of optimism and sheds light on the current condition of the ocean. The US Navy recently conducted a significant study revealing that it unintentionally caused the passing of at least 6 whales due to the use of sonar technology on its ships. The Navy, in collaboration with the US National Marine Fisheries Service, made this finding public towards the end of the previous month. However, this discovery may pose challenges for the Navy's future implementation of an advanced sonar system intended to detect submarines from afar. For many years, experts in the field of marine mammal research have had the belief that the sonar signals emitted by military vessels might have contributed to several atypical instances of beaked whale strandings. Beaked whales, known for their teeth and preference for deep-sea feeding, have been found stranded shortly following military sonar drills on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, due to the advanced decay of the carcasses, no tangible proof of injuries caused by sound energy has been uncovered. On March 15th, back in the year 2000, Ken Balcom and Diane Claridge, independent researchers specializing in marine mammals, were surprised to discover a stranded beaked whale near their residence on Abaco Island in the Bahamas. Subsequently, they observed an additional 17 stranded marine mammals in the vicinity, some of which exhibited signs of bleeding from their ears. In order to shed light on the situation, the researchers collected tissue samples, including whole heads, from a total of 6 deceased animals. Prompted by the revelation that these strandings coincided with a Navy training mission that took place within a 24-hour timeframe, government scientists initiated an investigation. In a preliminary report released on December 20, 2001, scientists from the Navy and National Marine Fisheries Service have determined that the beachings of whales were the result of a unique combination of factors, including underwater topography and water conditions, that may have concentrated and intensified sonar signals. Although the exact mechanism by which the sound energy caused injuries to the whale's ears and tissues remains unknown, it is believed that the acoustic disturbance left some whales disoriented and vulnerable to shark attacks, prompting them to swim ashore. Moving forward, the Navy expresses its commitment to minimizing the use of sonar in similar circumstances during training exercises and expresses a willingness to allocate additional funds for further research. The findings of the study do not come as a surprise to Naomi Rose, a knowledgeable marine mammal specialist affiliated with the Humane Society of the United States in Gaithersburg, Maryland. According to her, the Navy had no way of avoiding taking responsibility. However, she believes that the report is skillfully crafted in a way that prevents it from providing ammunition to critics of the Navy's new sonar system, operating at a lower frequency, which they are planning to deploy. Whales, known for their magnificent size and intriguing vocalizations, hold a crucial position in the world's ecosystem. Acting as both consumers and nutrient providers, their extinction would trigger a cascade of consequences, affecting both the ecological balance and the human economy. Firstly, whales play a critical role in the marine food web. As predators, they keep populations of smaller fish and invertebrates in check. By feeding on krill, they prevent these tiny crustaceans from consuming all the phytoplankton, the base of the marine food chain. Should whales go extinct, the uncontrolled growth of krill could lead to a decrease in phytoplankton, potentially causing a ripple effect throughout the marine ecosystem. Whales also act as significant contributors to nutrient cycling. They consume nutrients in the ocean depths and release them nearer to the surface in their fecal plumes, aiding the growth of phytoplankton. Phytoplankton not only serves as the primary food source for a multitude of marine species, but it also absorbs large amounts of carbon dioxide, playing a key role in mitigating climate change. With the extinction of whales, this natural mechanism would be disrupted, leading to a potential decrease in phytoplankton and an increase in atmospheric CO2 levels. Furthermore, whales contribute to marine productivity through their carcasses. When they die, their bodies sink to the ocean floor, providing an abundance of nutrients and thus creating complex ecosystems known as whale falls. These provide habitats and sustenance for a variety of species, some of which are uniquely adapted to this environment. The loss of these whale falls could mean the extinction of these species and a decrease in ocean biodiversity. A retired Antarctic pilot by the name of John Ingram was presented with an irresistible opportunity. The Antarctic Research Institute invited him back for a special reconnaissance mission over the icy expanse of Antarctica. Intrigued and eager to fly again, he accepted the offer. On a frigid morning, he boarded his old companion, a modified Lockheed C-130 Hercules. The mission was straightforward, to map out some remote regions of Antarctica that satellites had trouble covering. With the seasoned expertise of decades, he piloted the aircraft over the vast, shimmering white landscape. After hours of monotonous icy scenery, a blip on the radar broke the tranquility. It was a mountain, a towering spire of ice and rock, standing solitary amidst the endless white. At its summit was an oddity that puzzled the pilot, a large, perfect circle that radar identified as an opening. He circled around in order to get a better look, his curiosity piqued. The mouth of the cavity was colossal, big enough to fit a football stadium. The pilot estimated the opening was easily over 300 feet in length, big enough to fit a plane inside. Unable to resist the mystery, he decided to descend for a closer look. He expertly maneuvered the aircraft into a daring low-altitude hover, just above the mouth of the mountain. Peering out of the cockpit, he saw the hole wasn't merely an opening. It was an entrance to an expansive cavern, disappearing into the heart of the mountain, shrouded in darkness. Realizing the potential significance of the find, he marked the location on his GPS and took high-resolution photographs. As much as he yearned to explore further, he knew he was not equipped for such an expedition. He ascended back into the sky, his mind racing with possibilities about what could be hidden within the cavern. Upon his return, he presented his findings to the Antarctic Research Institute. The photographs and coordinates sparked an immediate buzz among the researchers. The possibility of an unexplored cavern of such size in Antarctica was an enticing prospect. However, the pilot said that he was told that the discovery wasn't of interest and that an exploration team wouldn't be sent to the location. As the news of the discovery spread, it captivated the team's imagination. Those who knew the pilot said that they eagerly awaited updates on the mysterious hole atop the Antarctic mountain. However, he was told that the discovery wasn't of interest and that no further flights would be made to the mountain. The pilot ended by saying that he still wonders what was inside the cavern that led directly into the mountain. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that something strange has been found in Antarctica. In the bitter heart of Antarctica, hidden amidst the icy wilderness, is a research station named Aurora Base. It is a scientific outpost tasked with studying the desolate landscape and the hidden secrets of this cold frontier. According to a social media post, one winter, the Aurora team embarked on a new expedition, a journey into the subglacial lakes, which exist under kilometers of ice. Armed with state-of-the-art technology, the team lowered a specialized submersible probe through a borehole in the ice to explore the unseen depths of Lake Vostok. As the probe descended through the ice, its cameras relayed images to the team above. The first signs of life were simple, single-celled organisms. But as Poseidon plunged deeper, it started to transmit pictures of creatures much more complex and bizarre. Creatures that defied the known boundaries of life in such extreme conditions. One such creature was a translucent, bioluminescent entity, nearly 2 meters long, undulating gracefully in the frigid darkness. Its otherworldly glow illuminated its surroundings, and the creature seemed to be covered in a constellation of glowing spots. Biologist Dr. Everson, staring at the live feed in awe, said that it's like a living starfield. In the following days, the underwater probe captured images of other unusual life forms. There were organisms with metallic exoskeletons, creatures resembling prehistoric trilobites but much larger, and swarms of neon-colored microorganisms that glowed beautifully under the probe's lights. Each new discovery was a revelation, a testament to life's tenacity and adaptability in Earth's harshest environment. Word of these astonishing discoveries spread across the base. Soon, every eye was glued to the live feed. Everyone held their breath each time the underwater probe descended, eager to see what strange creature it would uncover next. One evening, it encountered something that brought every heart at the base to a standstill. An enormous shadow loomed over the submersible. As it came into focus, a gigantic creature, unlike anything ever seen before, appeared on the screen. It was a massive creature, easily the length of a whale, but unlike any known marine animal. It had multiple bioluminescent appendages and an intricate pattern of glowing lines along its body, casting an ethereal light in the dark abyss. Stunned by the sight of this gargantuan lifeform, the Aurora team realized they had discovered an ecosystem entirely unknown to science, hidden beneath the ice. It was a humbling experience, reminding them of how much more there was to learn about our planet. In the following months, news of the monsters of Lake Vostok reached every corner of the globe. It sparked a renewed interest in Antarctic exploration and the study of extreme environments. To the scientists at Aurora Base, these strange creatures were a beautiful reminder of nature's infinite ability to surprise and astonish us. The Antarctic ice, once thought to be lifeless, now held a world teeming with strange and remarkable life, shattering our understanding of where life can exist and thrive on Earth. Someone found this huge object above the eastern Pacific. It was captured using the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Tropical Pacific Weather Channel. The man who found it put the recording on a loop, and during this, a huge triangular object appears. Oddly enough, the man stated that the object is around half the size of Mexico. The triangular object was caught hovering above the ocean and was detected by satellite. The man who found it said that he's never seen anything like it, noting that he often checks this live camera feed, and nothing of this size has ever showed up before. The man went on to explain that the object was visible for over 7 hours, saying that it wasn't just a random cloud formation or glitch, and said that it stayed in the same location. These black triangle objects have been witnessed for several decades now, with researchers into the unknown saying that sightings can be traced back hundreds of years. These enigmatic triangular crafts have been spotted all over the world, leading to fervent speculation and debate among researchers and enthusiasts. Black triangle sightings began to gain prominence in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Witnesses described these crafts as large, dark, silent, and triangular in shape, often with bright lights at each corner. These sightings caught the attention of researchers, who were intrigued by the consistent descriptions from witnesses around the globe. Black triangles have been reported in various countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, Mexico, and Japan. Witnesses describe seeing these crafts hovering silently in the sky or moving at high speeds. The origins of these black triangles remain a subject of speculation and debate. Several hypotheses have been proposed to explain these sightings. Skeptics argue that black triangles are classified military aircraft undergoing testing or surveillance operations. The secretive nature of military programs could explain the lack of public acknowledgement. Interestingly, though, various eyewitnesses have reported seeing these black triangles hovering above the ocean. While many unidentified objects are witnessed in the skies above land, there is a growing body of evidence and speculation that suggests these objects may also have a significant interest in the oceans. One of the primary reasons these objects might be interested in the oceans is the abundance of water. Earth is the only planet known to have vast oceans of liquid water, a precious resource that could be of immense value to advanced civilizations. Water is essential for sustaining life as we know it, and it is possible that unidentified objects are searching for or monitoring Earth's oceans in their quest for habitable environments. The oceans represent some of the most unexplored and diverse ecosystems on Earth. These deep and largely unknown environments harbor an incredible variety of life forms, many of which are yet to be discovered by humans. It is conceivable that these objects, equipped with advanced sensing technologies, are interested in studying these unique ecosystems and their inhabitants to better understand the diversity of life in the universe. One intriguing theory put forth by some researchers is the possibility of submerged bases in Earth's oceans. If unidentified objects are of advanced origin, it is conceivable that they might have established bases underwater to remain hidden and undetected from human observation. These underwater bases could serve as research outposts or staging areas for their activities on Earth. Numerous sightings have been reported in close proximity to marine life, particularly with regard to encounters with whales and dolphins. Some witnesses have described these objects emerging from or submerging into the ocean, suggesting a connection between unidentified objects and marine life. This has led some researchers to speculate about potential communication or interaction between these objects and Earth's intelligent marine species. Another speculative theory is that unidentified objects may be interested in extracting resources from the oceans. Earth's oceans contain vast amounts of minerals and elements, some of which may be scarce or highly valuable in other parts of the universe. Advanced civilizations may view our oceans as a potential source of valuable resources, leading them to explore or exploit these underwater reserves. The oceans are also home to various forms of energy, including geothermal vents, which release hot, mineral-rich water from beneath the Earth's surface. Such energy sources could be of interest to advanced civilizations seeking sustainable and renewable energy solutions. These aircrafts might be monitoring or harnessing these energy reserves to power their craft or other technologies. The vastness and depth of the oceans offer a convenient environment for concealment and surveillance. These aircrafts could use the ocean as a hiding place or base of operations, especially given that human exploration and surveillance technologies are less developed underwater than in space or on land. The ocean's depths also provide an effective shield against human detection. As of right now, the Earth's oceans are a fascinating and mysterious aspect of the broader phenomenon. While there is no definitive evidence to confirm the reasons behind this apparent attraction, numerous scientific theories and speculative ideas offer plausible explanations. Whether these objects are drawn to Earth's oceans for resources, water, or the study of marine life, their presence and activities remain one of the greatest enigmas of our time. This isn't the first time that something like this has been detected, and former workers have come forward and detailed that these objects are occasionally witnessed. Back in 2008, a team of National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration scientists embarked on a routine research expedition aboard their state-of-the-art research vessel. Their mission was to study marine life and oceanic currents in the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. However, one of the workers said that this voyage would lead them to an encounter that would defy their understanding of the world. As the vessel sailed through the tranquil waters, the scientists immersed themselves in their work, meticulously collecting data and observing marine creatures. Dr. Walker, the lead marine biologist, had always been fascinated by the mysteries of the deep sea. As night fell, the team continued their observations under the shimmering moonlight. Suddenly, an unusual blip appeared on the ship's radar, catching the attention of Dr. Walker and the crew. They were puzzled by the mysterious signal, as there were no other vessels reported in the vicinity. With a sense of anticipation, the crew followed the radar signal, leading them to an area where the ocean currents seemed to converge. As they approached, an eerie silence enveloped the ship, broken only by the gentle lapping of the waves against the hull. Then, out of the darkness, a breathtaking sight unfolded before them. A massive, triangle-shaped object hovered above the water, emitting a soft, ethereal glow. The mysterious craft seemed to defy the laws of physics, maintaining a steady position in the air without any visible means of propulsion. Amidst the astonishment, Dr. Walker quickly grabbed her camera and began capturing images of the otherworldly spectacle. The crew members, equally mesmerized, exchanged bewildered glances as they tried to make sense of the inexplicable sighting. Captain Reynolds radioed to other National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration vessels that were in the area, reporting their sighting with an air of incredulity. The situation was unprecedented, and the crew knew that their encounter would be met with skepticism back home. As the night wore on, the enigmatic triangle object remained suspended above the ocean, seemingly unbothered by the presence of the workers. Dr. Walker and her team observed the object's peculiar light patterns, noting how it occasionally emitted bright flashes before dimming again. Suddenly, the object started to move, gliding noiselessly across the sky. The crew watched in awe as it soared effortlessly above the water, leaving behind a faint trail of shimmering light. The object then made a quick getaway and was not seen for the rest of the mission. Oddly enough, the cameras were taken from the crew, and they were told not to speak of their encounter.